What if I told you history could be made?
Dover gets it into Phoenix. Phoenix with 5 seconds. Doesn't seem to be in much of a hurry. He'll put up a long three. This is the shot! Westview is sectional champion for 2016.
Led by seniors Andrew Yoder and Norman Miller, the 2015-16 Westview Warriors won their 18th sectional championship in dramatic fashion. Now what if I told you history could be repeated? What once was the most inexperienced team in Michiana is now one of the most dangerous, as senior leader Lucas Yoder looks to lead the Warriors to another sectional crown and beyond. Determination, excellence, tradition, history. This is Westview Warrior basketball.
Westview Warrior Basketball is streaming live on the World Wide Web at laguanamedia.com. Today's game is brought to you by the following gold sponsors: Rigsecker Marketplace, Height Auto Body, Laguana, and Shipshe Service. Silver sponsors are Topeka Do-It-Best Hardware, Topeka Pharmacy, Weaver Furniture, Jerry's Standard, Yoder Popcorn, Mike's Automotive Service, Fruit May Funeral Home, The Brethren Retreat, The Hometown Treasure, Yoder Insurance, Quality Floor, Fast Lane Subway, Frontline Auto Tech, by Tiffany's Restaurant, Yoder's Shipshewana Hardware, Troyer's Saddlery, Emma Warehouse, and Mercury Wireless. Our individual sponsors are Tim and Donna Height, Jim and Liz Stump, Dan and Dawn Byler, and John and Leslie Cook. Now, out to the game!
Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to exciting Westview Warrior basketball from East Noble High School in Kendallville, Indiana. Tonight it's the East Noble Knights hosting the Westview Warriors. East Noble coming in with a 6-3 record, and Westview likewise at 6-3. And I'll be back to talk to head coach Rob Yoder of the Westview Warriors right after this timeout. We're back at East Noble High School with head basketball coach Rob Yoder of the Westview Warriors. And Rob, before we talk about the game tonight with East Noble, let's take a look back at the tournament last week against Plymouth and, of course, DeKalb also. How do you feel with your team coming out of that?
Well, I think that certainly we had some things there that we can take from it, both good and things that we can work on to get better. DeKalb obviously wasn't real close at the end. We got away from them. So did some good things against a solid team. And then the Plymouth game, probably disappointing in the fact that it felt like we really put ourselves in a position where we could win the game, and we just did not execute well down the stretch and ended up losing in the last couple of minutes. So certainly things that we took from that, areas where we want to improve, and it's best to find out now where you need to improve at so we can fix it and not have it happen in March. But overall, you know, we did some good things and certainly some things that we're going to take away that we can learn from.
Okay, tonight you have the East Noble Knights, first game of the 2017 year. What can you tell us about East Noble?
Well, they're a perimeter-oriented team. I think that all players that they're going to play, that anybody that gets on the floor is really a face-up type of player first. Maybe not the true post-up type players, maybe a few of them. They have a few guys that will post, but they are 5 guys facing the basket an awful lot of time. They all shoot the 3. They play hard and they move the ball well. They're a good passing team. So they're a talented group, and they've won a lot of games because of it. So we'll have our hands full, and certainly we think that there's some things that we've went through that hopefully will give us a chance to succeed here tonight, but we're going to have to execute and play well.
You know, I think this is one of the first times for a while that we've come down here where they've had a winning record. What's the difference between last year's team, for instance, and this year's team with them?
Well, last year they were at our place, but they had a good record coming into that game last year as well. I think that they have a few more young guys playing, maybe not young compared to our kids, but they have a lot of juniors in that class and a freshman point guard playing, and so there's some youth there, and then they're kind of long and still have perimeter skills. So they're a well-balanced team. They don't have that one guy like some of the games that we've played against where he gets, you know, half their points or something like that. So they're a balanced team that can score in a variety of places, which makes it hard to defend. There's nobody you can really not guard or get away from out on the perimeter to give a little extra help somewhere. You just got to guard well all over the floor. I think that makes them difficult to guard.
Well, they have a new coach this year also. Has he changed any philosophies as far as their team was concerned?
Well, I don't know, you know, exactly what the philosophy was before or now. That's kind of their thing. But I know they're playing a lot of man-to-man defense this year, and they do a lot of screening. So I would say maybe those two things kind of stand out where they do play a lot of man, and they do a pretty good job in their screening, helping each other get open. And so we'll see. You know, time's going to tell how they play exactly. We're still fairly young into his beginning here at East Noble, but we know him a little bit from Bremen. He coached at Bremen and was in our sectional for a few years there.
Okay, what about your team tonight? Are they healthy?
We are pretty healthy. Josh was hurt a little bit in the Plymouth game at the beginning of the third quarter, and he's probably not 100%, but he's in pretty good shape, and he'll start again.
What was his injury?
He had a sprained ankle.
All right, so same starting lineup tonight?
We will. We'll use the same starting lineup that we've had so far this year.
All right, go get him, Rob.
Thanks.
That was Rob Yoder, head basketball coach of Westview. We'll be back with more from East Noble High School right after this. This is Westview Warrior Basketball at LaguanaMedia.com.
When you're turning your house into a home, your furniture plays a big part in the finished product. And you'll love the finished products at Weaver Furniture Sales in Shipshewana. Come see the Weaver family. They'll work with you to find a piece that meets your needs, or have it custom built just for you. Weaver Furniture Sales is located just south of 5 and 20 in Shipshewana, or visit their website at weaverfurnituresales.com.
We're back at East Noble High School. Westview and East Noble going at it tonight. Both trying to win their 7th game of the 2016-17 year and start off the new year right on 2017. Before we talk more about tonight's varsity game coming up, Dan, come on in and pass along that information in the JV victory tonight for the Warriors.
Well, early on it looked like pretty much it was going to go East Noble's way. Their first 2 shots they made were 3-pointers. So they were up 8-4 at the end of the first quarter. He outscored us 8-4 to 7, but we're still trailing by 1 at halftime. It was 14 quarter. Things really went south for East Noble. They got 1 point. They were 1 of 2 from the free throw line, and we still scored 7. So we took our we had the lead 2-0 after Travis Miller hit a couple free throws to start the game, and then again they hit a 3, and then Dennis Wingard hit a 2 at the beginning of the game. So we had a 1-point lead there, but then we didn't lead again. We had gotten it tied up a time or two, but we didn't lead again until we hit the 2:17 mark in the third period, and that at that point we were up 18-16, and we just kept slowly pulling away from there on out. I think the big story tonight was the fact that both teams shot 12 free throws in the fourth period. We made 9 of ours. They made 4 of theirs. And that sort of was the whole story. That was the story for the whole game for them. They were 7 of 19 from the free throw line.
Wow.
So there's 12 points they left laying out there on the floor, and they lost by 8. East Noble did. So it was pretty much the difference there. We were 12 of 16 on the other side. So we were 75% from the free throw line. They were 37%. And so, yeah, they only had 2 regular buckets in the whole second half. And the rest of the time, they did get to the free throw line a lot, but they didn't make their free throws. If they would have, they probably, it would have been a very different game. I don't know how it would have ended up.
Well, and sometimes you blame those on fatigue toward the end of a game, but they were pretty consistently missed throughout the ball game.
Well, they didn't shoot any in the first period, but even in the second period, they missed their first 3, and they were 2 of 5 in the second period. So 40%, that's about what they shot the rest of the game. So, yeah that just not a very solid free throw shooting team. Led tonight by Matthew Jones is 12, and I almost think that might be a best for him. I'm not sure. I printed out my stat sheet for year-to-date scoring, and I'm pretty sure it's still on my printer behind my desk. It's not doing me much good there. Dennis Wingard had 8. Travis Miller had 6, and 3 points each for Mason Jones and Blake Egley. They both hit a 3, and they both hit those in the second quarter. So, yeah, so it moves them up to, I think, 8-2 now. For the season.
JV's having a good season.
Yeah.
And I don't know if maybe this isn't appropriate, but I think a lot of our players could be playing for a lot of varsity teams in the area.
Right, yeah, some of those JV guys that play a lot could well be getting varsity time if they were at a different school, potentially. So.
Yep, varsity roster, but we've got a very talented JV team this year, which is good to see.
Well, what's rough for those guys that are playing JV is all those guys that are getting the playing time on the varsity, for the most part, are underclassmen. They're freshmen and sophomores, so it's not like you can wait for them to graduate because you're going to be gone before they are, or at the same time. So.
You look out there and you see Yoder.
Charlie?
Not Charlie. Charlie's a freshman.
Yeah, Lucas.
Lucas, a senior.
Yeah, so there's one spot opening up next year, potentially, although 13 is a lot to carry. And, this is the first time I'm pretty sure this is the first time Rob's ever carried 13 on a squad.
Yeah, it is. Or one of the few times, correct.
I think the only other times might have been during the regular season, from the start of the season.
We'll be back with more from the Big Blue Pit at East Noble High School as we get set for Westview and East Noble tonight, right after this timeout.
Topeka Do It Best Hardware at the Blinker Light in Topeka is your authorized Maytag, Whirlpool, and Amana dealer. Topeka Do It Best has been selling appliances and providing service to the Topeka area for over 40 years. See JJ for your appliance parts. If they're not in stock, no problem. Topeka Do It Best will have them the next business day. Topeka Do It Best Hardware provides in-store repairs, and they make house calls. If it's worth doing, do it best. Call 593-2973. Dale's Dependable Handyman Service provides handyman repairs and remodeling to the surrounding LaGrange County area, including Goshen, Middlebury, Albion, Kendallville, and Angola. If you're looking to update your kitchen, sometimes it's as simple as changing countertops and adding tile and glass backsplash. It can make your kitchen look brand new. Dale's Dependable Handyman Service, providing quality installation with quality materials. Call Dale at 260-336-9364.
And we're back, buddy.
It looks like the kids are taking full advantage of these. the students. Although I did notice earlier, it's pretty much just the girls. The guys are all dressed in jeans, jammies, including an Eeyore out there. I mean, the full gear, the headgear and everything on Miss Pruitt there, Taryn Pruitt.
Who did we play earlier in the year and they had their jam?
Oh, the cheer section.
Although some of the
Slippers might
uniforms
be.
kind of